In today's video, we'll go over some basic budgeting strategies to help you get the most out of your salary. When people don't put money into their financial security first, they often end up spending their whole income on items other than themselves. Welcome to Finance Dojo! We aim to be the best personal finance educational channel you'll ever need. Click that subscribe button and the notification bell right now so you won't miss out. Let's start this video and be sure to watch it till the end. Step number 1. Putting money into an employer match. 401k, 403b, Roth 401k, or some other tax-advantaged retirement plan. Most of you will get a match on your contributions and earnings up to a certain percentage. Usually, employers match a specified percentage or cash amount of the employee's contribution. For instance, if you earn $100,000 annually, your employer may match up $100,000 of a specific percentage of your income. We'll use 6% of $100,000. That is why it's a good idea to make a contribution that is at least equal to the maximum employer match. In this case, the maximum contribution is 6%, and if your company matches 100% of that, you effectively receive an extra $6,000 while also decreasing your taxable income by $6,000. Because a typical 401k is a tax-advantaged plan, you're lowering your taxable income. You put in $6K and your company matches it, giving you $12K and minimizing your tax liability. Step number 2. Establish an emergency fund. You should set aside 3 to 6 months worth of living costs while creating your emergency fund. If you're single, 3 months should be fine. If you have a family, I'd recommend 6 months. If you're a business owner or work in sales where you get paid based on how much you sell, I'd even recommend a year. If 2008 happened again, people would lose jobs left and right and unemployment would be 10% or higher. The ability to develop an insurance policy on oneself and a solid basis from which to begin creating wealth is made possible by possessing an emergency fund. Inflation makes it risky to accumulate wealth. Once that 3 to 6 months have passed, you should begin saving for retirement and total creating wealth. Step number 3. Invest your retirement. To save wisely for retirement, you should set aside at least 15% of your net income. If you make $100,000 a year in income, you should be setting aside at least $15,000 of it. Here's where I want to apply the Roth IRA. The Roth IRA is flexible and you can contribute using after-tax cash. This enables any investments you have in a Roth IRA to grow tax-free so that upon retirement, you won't owe anything on the account's growth. You are now permitted to make annual Roth IRA contributions of up to $6,000. And if you're 50 years of age or older, you are also permitted to make an additional $7,000 contribution. The remainder ought to be deposited in your employer's tax advantage account. The Roth IRA also allows you to withdraw your contributions without incurring penalties, and you are also permitted to withdraw part of your profits without incurring fees if they fall under specified life circumstances, such as unexpected medical expenses or a first-time house purchase. These regulations can change, but at the time of all this recording, it's incredibly flexible. If you dislike what you're involved in, you can always withdraw what you put in. Step number 4. Pay off high-interest debt. What kind of debt has high interest rates? The proper question is, what other or what type of return can you receive with that money except paying off that debt? Remember that paying off debt yields a fixed rate of return that is risk-free, tax-free, and equal to 25% if you have a credit card that charges you 25% interest. Anything above 6% is high-interest rate debt since it offers a solid return with no risk or taxable events. Since compound interest works both ways, you should pay off high-interest debt. It may either work in your favor or against you. For instance, you spend $1,000 on a PlayStation along with many video games and controllers, and you charge that amount to a credit card with a sky-high interest rate. If you make minimum payments, your $1,000 PlayStation might cost you much more. Minimum payments trap you in debt and prevent you from accumulating wealth. Step number 5. Fill your buckets. Step 5 is when most individuals stay diligent and can appreciate the money they make. I explain my bucket method here. When you have finished steps 1 through 4, you should have money left over for costs. You should know exactly how much these expenses are, and you should pay them off appropriately. After you've completed steps 1 to 4 and paid all of your monthly bills, let's assume you're regularly able to save $1,000 every month. This $1,000 should go into your buckets. These buckets are different types of savings accounts, investment accounts, certificates of deposits, or bonds. I like a liquid account that's easy to access. Your buckets may be anything you want them to be, but these are the 5 buckets that my wife and I utilize in our private life. Bucket 1 is emergency savings. Bucket 2 is housing fund. Bucket 3 is investing. Bucket 4 is a travel fund. Bucket 5 is a car fund. Every week or month, your remaining savings should fill these buckets. This is simple to accomplish, and most brokerages or savings account let you do it automatically. You come up with your buckets. I'm only suggesting that you pay yourself first with $1,000 that is left over each month in this example, rather than blowing it and being unable to track down where it went, since you are already employed and can earn that much each month consistently. You know how much money will go to trips, savings, and other categories. The benefit of all these buckets is that you can always see if you have sufficient money to do what you want to do. Enjoy the earnings you're making and keep a bucket that means a lot to you. Let's use a hypothetical travel bucket as an example. If I know that I want to visit Hawaii, but that it would cost me $5,000 to $10,000, depending on how long I stay, and I don't have $5,000 to $10,000 in that bucket, I know that I won't be able to afford to go. If my automobile fund is $10,000, I can only afford a $10,000 car, repair, upkeep, etc. This avoids lifestyle inflation and keeps you in control. This bucket system should assist, so I hope this bucket method helps. Nonetheless, I leave you with my last thoughts. You don't have to complete these tasks in any particular order. Personal finance is certainly a matter of individual choice, but I believe that doing so will help you complete your task efficiently. Thus, you maximize your money, pay off your debt, and establish an emergency fund before investing or doing other risky things. Bear in mind that accumulating money and investing are things that young people should do. Even if you have time on your side, it doesn't mean you can't make up for lost ground later in life. This is merely setting you up for success. As always, this video is for educational purposes only and not financial advice. You should always do your own research and speak to a financial advisor before making any investment decisions. Thank you for watching and see you in the next one.